What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 58 of the Rematch Podcast. It is myself, Bill, and Mr. Enigma holding it down tonight. Unfortunately, I ain't even gonna cover for him. Look, our other host got shit-faced drunk on a Thursday afternoon with his buddies and can't do the show. Like,
Yep.
that'd be where he at. So, just want everybody to know. So, Scruffy, we're out there. We love you. Feel better. Throw up. Eat some eggs. I don't know. Do all the shit that you need to do to make sure that you're not puking your guts out.
Yeah.
But welcome in, everybody.
Yeah.
It is episode number 58, and we are here. And news has been a little light, but we got a bunch of games to talk about, which is awesome. These things are it's always fun pre E3 time. Well, what would be, I guess, E3 technically, right? Like E3 is not happening. Do you think E3 is going to happen anymore? Honestly, yeah, no, it's done. Like
no,
E3,
it's done.
Yeah, it's done for this year at least.
But by the way, we can hear ourselves through you there, so just let you know.
How can you guys hear yourself through me?
I don't know, but whenever I talk and you're talking, I can hear me.
I can also hear myself. No, I can't. Never mind. It's fixed. We're good. This is a you problem, Enigma.
Is this an Enigma issue?
I think so.
Like I said, whenever you're talking, I can hear myself.
Wait, send in 3, 2, 1. Talk with me.
Yo, hello,
talk
hi.
with me. How you doing,
yeah,
bud? Yeah. Okay. I'm good. I'm good.
Well,
I'm good.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know how it's a me thing, but whatever.
It's Craig.
I don't know. Look, guys, we honest to God broadcast ourselves like what's happened. Like we don't there. If you want to believe there's any kind of like sugarcoating or post production that happens on this shit, there's not. We're literally showing it to you as it's happening. So I mean, this is how real and raw we are, guys.
Raw dogging it, baby.
Raw
Good
dogging.
God. Good God.
Yeah. So, anyway, now you said that you guys are going to be able to hear yourself, and now I'm like fucking with it, trying to be like, how is that possible? I don't know.
The OCD brain kicks in.
Yeah.
Gotta be perfect.
Anyway, but it's episode 58, guys. We got a lot to talk about, honestly, like we always do. But all of our selves make Scruffy. Honestly, man, he drank wine, bro. He's gonna feel bad. Like there is not anything you can do for a wine
hangovers are the worst hangovers.
Man,
it's all the fucking.
I want to know how much wine he fucking drank to be that shit faced, man. Like I get wine's rough, but it's not that rough.
It depends on
a lot. At least I do.
Well, he's also like, I mean, what? He's maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. Like honestly, what is he? Like I said, like literally 100 pounds soaking wet, right?
Probably.
Like,
I don't know. That's true.
It's not like he is a heavyweight here. So,
it's very true.
Yeah, I don't know. It's anyway. So we're gonna kick off with. So we always talk about Twitch news and YouTube stuff. This one, normally we kind of rail into Twitch and stuff like that or not rail into them, but we just kind of discuss some of the bullshit that's going on inside their world. But we want to take a moment because I think that honestly it would be unjust of us to not really talk about what happened. And if you are unfamiliar with what we're talking about, I believe it was Tuesday. There was a mass shooting that happened in Buffalo, New York. This person live streamed it on Twitch. It was up for, I think, 2 minutes before it was actually taken down.
Yeah, something like that.
And then it was stopped. Here's what we're gonna say. I'm a believer in this, and I think that I can probably speak for the better half of, the entire podcast when I say giving this person any more justification and publicity than anything just saying he's an asshole, what he did was fucking terrible, and he's a shitty person, and that's it. Like, giving him any more press is doing nothing more than not glorifying, but just glamorizing this whole thing, right? This is the reason that people do these kind of things is for, attention. So giving them more attention than what is deserved is we're not going to do. So, our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers, all of our sympathies and everything like that go out to the people that were affected by it. And I think, Twitch, it's, there's a lot of, the thing that I want to kind of spend time focusing on and wanting to get your guys' opinion on is this opened up the box again, right? Like, this opened up the fucking box that says, oh, video games are the cause of this, right? Like, or that,
say that regardless, every fucking shooting that happens, they immediately go to fucking video games or violence in movies,
yeah, but I don't know. This one, because I think it was streamed, caused more issues. Like, there's obviously been other mass shootings that have happened.
I think they would have done the same thing whether it was streamed on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, fucking Prime. Well,
yeah, but I'm saying because it was streamed. Like, if it was not streamed, yeah, I don't think it would have been. They wouldn't have automatically gone to video games. The other side of this is now people are saying, is live streaming, should it be more controlled by a government agency? Like, should these companies like Facebook, like Twitch, like Amazon, like YouTube, Google have the ability to basically just allow anything to be up on their platform? Because live streaming, there's nothing to stop someone immediately from going up there. So they're saying that if it was a government run agency and a government run program, which I have a hard time believing because it's our, I don't know any government that's fucking run well. Like, how does this, that it would be better, that they could control it better. So I guess two topics here. One, what are your thoughts on the whole video game thing? I mean, we're kind of all in agreement, right? Like, this video game thing is just a fucking, like, that's ridiculous, right? Like, there's
a scapegoat.
It's just, I feel politically motivated fucking, it's just the fucking politics trying to grab a hold of something that they've been trying to fucking grab a hold of for years.
I think that social media honestly is probably more to blame than what video games themselves. Like, I'm perfectly okay with like Twitch, YouTube. I'm okay with the streaming platforms taking a little bit of heat from this, because there probably does need to be a little bit more regulation in what is allowed. Like, there's been way too many times that these platforms have allowed like blatantly like pornographic stuff, like horrendous things, like outside of like sexual things, horrendous things. Like, this isn't the first time that, like, not something to this extent has happened, but that bad things have happened on these sites.
Right. Well,
and secondly, like, social medias in general, like, before, if you were somebody that decided that you were going to go do a shooting, it wouldn't move outside of the immediate area that you were in. If you were maybe in a big city, it would make like the national, like maybe the national newspapers, but in most situations, you weren't getting any notoriety outside of the immediate like area that you were in.
Right.
With social medias and all that stuff, it is way more likely for people to have the motivation to do this because they know that their name, their image, their quote unquote legacy, as fucked up as that is to say, is going to be spread the moment it happens.
Right. Yeah. Well, my thing is that why, like, I don't see them going after 4chan. I don't see them going after 8chan. I don't see them going like, and he was on there, and a lot of people have gone on there and openly talked about like what they're going to do. The entire thing was planned via Discord and 4chan. So it's like, why are you just publicly attacking or going after Twitch when it's like, you guys had all of the evidence there. You could have done something. Like, you knew it was happening. You chose not to.
The chants have been brought up before, but I think that they're not brought up enough because of how like niche they are and how like Twitter's easy, Facebook's easy, Twitch is easy because it's mainstream. Everybody, for the most part, knows what those are. So
yeah,
even Reddit to a point is easy because it's the familiar.
Right. it's such a bullshit thing. Like, honest to God, I mean, it's such a to sit there and go after video games, because I guarantee you that if you take the amount of well, you can, like, I would love for them to honestly sit down and do a study that comes out with the how many hours of quote unquote violent video games, and now it's not even violent. Now it's hyper violent. Like, that's the whole thing now. It's hyper aggressive. How many
in the past
of how many hours?
That's why they can't. Yeah, that's why they can't push it far enough. Is because they've had actual studies from like Cambridge and all these other fucking esteemed fucking locations, right? They've done studies of like, do violent video games make people violent? And there's no conclusive evidence that playing video games, violent or otherwise, mega violent, whatever the fuck they want to call it, makes people violent. There's no definitive evidence of it.
What's crazy is that you don't
continue to push it.
You don't see them heart going after the fact that these people that do this are usually, anti-Semitic, white supremacist, or these radical groups. It's just like, you don't like, it's just like, hold on.
There's a huge section. Like, you've got the people, the person that shot up I think it was the YouTube headquarters back a couple of years ago. That was on the exact opposite of what you would think of, like an anti-Semite shit.
No, right? But what I'm saying is they don't go like these radical sides, regardless of where you fall in the chain. They're not going after the fact of like, how about the propaganda that's still being pushed in a lot of these, areas that it's okay to push this stuff, but like, no, we're going to go after video games, which have been studied, proven, and shown that like, in most aggressive behavior, video games actually usually brings aggression down. It's a release for a lot of people.
And that falls into an entirely another category of conversation that we could have if you wanted to, but I think it would get far too political, because you've got stances where it was like, what's it called? Donald Trump was banned off of Twitter, but they were completely fine with the head of Al Qaeda still spouting everything, and in some cases posting up fucking videos of beheadings on Twitter, and they were completely fine right there. But
yeah, it's I don't know. It's the thing about it is
it's a very
crazy,
finite
man.
line
like,
between what's accepted and what's not these days, and it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's really sad, and I mean, this isn't going to go anywhere. Obviously, like, it'll fall on deaf ears and whatever else. But anytime that this is brought up, that video games are the reason behind violence in America or violence in the world, it's like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. Like, I don't know. It's just like an easy scapegoat for someone to jump on, and I don't even understand like what is the purpose behind it. Like,
it's an easy scapegoat. That's what it is. I don't know what the agenda is, because in any other circumstance, they've never pushed censorship before, and it's not like it's something that they're looking for a gotcha so that they can push censorship.
Right.
If it was, I don't know, if every video game came with a gun, then maybe, but it does feel like a fruitless effort where, like, why? The big why.
Buy Candy Crush and then and you get your
Candy Crush, get a Glock.
Get a Glock. Sorry guys, I know you're seeing something over Bill's face. I'm trying to turn Enigma up. Apparently
I don't know, man. Let's just put it this way, fuck the guy that did it. Fuck that guy. I hope that he fucking gets shot someplace in prison or stabbed. I don't give a fuck. That might be controversial. Hopefully he gets fucking shanked in prison. That's all I gotta say. Fuck the dude. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. No, I mean, get it, man. This is bullshit. So that's and here's the thing. I commend Twitch for how quickly they did react. I mean, 2 minutes.
Surprisingly, they took it down rather quickly, considering the fact that, like, wasn't it Ninjas
hardcore porn, man, for like 2.5 hours.
Hardcore porn for like 2.5 hours, and they just let it go.
Corn, crap. Corn.
We just talked about shanking and shooting somebody in prison. YouTube's already on my I'm on YouTube shit list. So
there you go.
Way to go, Enigma.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's too quiet. Maybe they couldn't hear it.
Yeah, they couldn't hear me.
Anyway. All right. Well, moving on. Onto YouTube, since we're there. YouTube launched out gifting memberships. Bill, this is your area of expertise, man. Like,
I don't have access to gifting memberships, but it is nice that they're finally getting somewhere with the community aspect again. With similar to when they rolled out the rating feature, it's got some weird caveats that hopefully they fine tune with time. Um, as far as I know, the way the gifting works now, it's very similar to Twitch's gifting subs. You can either, I think you can gift a membership directly, or you can do just like a general gifting. The way it works differently from how Twitch does it is instead of it being random, I think there might be a little bit of variation in Twitch where uh, watch time takes into account, but not as heavy as this. I think it just straight up pulls from the list of watch time and gifts people from the top to the bot, like from top
Yeah,
to
it's
bottom.
like most
Uh,
active.
yeah, memberships based off of that. So it's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good thing. It's a way of building internal communities. It's a way for content creators on YouTube to have more of a chance to uh, makes a little bit more dosh off of it because what was the statistic? 70% of subscriptions come from 20% of a viewer base. So it's the same thing with like mobile games and stuff. The whales are going to distribute the subs to the community. It's only a very small portion of the community that actually pushes the subs, but
Right.
the whole community can enjoy that. Now they just need to tie something to these memberships to make it a little bit more enticing for somebody to get a membership,
Yeah. I
like
mean,
in
it's,
general. So,
so
because I think right now the only people that have access to emotes and stuff are YouTube like partners, like the upper echelon of the
Yeah.
monetization sphere. I think
so
they should
so the
push
only
that.
reason that so the memberships. So if you get a membership, you don't get. There's no benefit other than just sheer support.
I don't know. I don't know what
Huh.
other aspects there are. Like I said, I know in partner like YouTube partner streams, memberships allow access to channel specific emotes and stuff like that. But I'm not sure what like general memberships get you. I'm gonna look that up. You guys can talk and give me your feedback on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up as well. So
Eh,
does it? I mean, look, all of this stuff is positive movement. It's positive movement toward the YouTube taking streaming more seriously, which is great. Right? That's the thing that we've all said, that it's like, hey, we've heard this before, we've seen this before, but are they actually going to do anything? And it seems like the new head over there at YouTube Gaming is taking this at least doing more and kind of saying, hey, look, like I'm not just going to come here and status quo this and let it all fall apart, so
well,
um
and again, I would almost beg to differ on that. I am curious to see if these changes had nothing to do with the new YouTube gaming director, and just like last week when we talked about the rating feature, they were just features already coming down the pipeline that
yeah,
were
but she could have easily
scheduled
stalled
for
it.
it. She could have easily stalled it, but why would you do that? Like again, like what we're looking for is actual meaningful change on the site. While these are nice, again, I think we agreed last week that what they really need to do is start actually working on like their usability, like the UI, everything like that. That comes down to it, the chat function, how you were actually produced in the algorithm and pushed out to people. Because right now, other than being followed or following somebody and seeing them on your live page, your live stream is not pushed out to anybody really. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm again, I'm not disagreeing. I just think that from the past of where Google has a habit of launching a product and then letting it die a slow, painful, and agonizing death with very few updates ever. um I think here, and then you have Saikuno moving over. I mean, they're still actively buying creators. I don't know. I mean, it's at least a positive direction. It's a move in the right direction. It's a
I
move to
agree.
continue to keep going. And I think that, honestly, Yes, they need to fix their UI. Their UI is complete shit. And well, maybe not complete shit, but it's pretty bad.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's just it's a rough interaction between like viewing the stream and actually chatting. It's not
right.
The most.
Ludwig did a good comparison with
Well,
the chats, and the way YouTube chat goes is it's like a constant like scroll, where Twitch kind of has like those like little stutters where it hesitates so you can read the chat before it kind of bounces, and it does like a pause then bounce, pause then bounce, and it's actually readable, where YouTube chat is constantly moving, and it makes it difficult.
Yeah,
Makes it difficult to read.
I mean,
I looked up memberships. So what it gets you is emotes, badges. So emotes and badges, same thing as subscriptions. And then the creator, if they have any membership exclusive content, you can kind of do it like Patreon style, where you can have videos or make a live stream that is exclusive for members or
only.
pushed out early for members before it gets pushed out to the general community.
So it's essentially what subs do on Twitch, because Twitch, if they have any content that's locked behind the sub, like
they can do
VODs and shit.
Yeah, it's a pretty 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm happy with the changes that they've made. Like the two changes that we've seen, the hosts while being extremely fucking
complicated
and complicated for no apparent reason. I think it's a good start for sure.
I still think they're playing cards close to their chest on that, and
so do I. Yeah.
If they're smart about it, they'll probably like within a month or a couple months start like rolling back some of the restricting features. I have a feeling that the creator having to be subbed or put you in a list, like I have a feeling they're gonna add at some point a allow anybody to raid me button.
They're gonna have to. It's like I said last week. Like that's the whole reason for raids. Is the whole reason for hosts is to create a community with something, with either people that you're aware of, but also people that you're not normally aware of, right? People that you don't normally see in your feed. That's what creates the community over there on Twitch. And that if YouTube wants that, they need to have something along those lines. And I understand, again, like I said last week, I understand the whole hate raid, whatever you want to call it. It's annoying. It's sad that we have to deal with it, but we are in 2022. Unfortunately, the internet is mean, and you're just gonna have to you're gonna have to realize that.
I mean, that's like the number one thing that I think everybody, at least, especially for us that have gone over to YouTube and been over there, and I know Bill still experiences it, right? It is a lonely place. Like it's because of this. Like, and I mean, these are all steps to get there, right? But it is still a lonely place. Like, even though you may be playing, we'll play Solasta together, we'll do whatever. Like, there's still something about the raids and things like that just do feel like, okay, cool, I am here with a collective group, whereas in YouTube,
not just raids, again, because now they've got the whole gifting subs thing. That's another aspect of community right there, is like the gifting subs saying, hey, I know you've never you're not subscribed right now, but here, I'm feeling generous, here's this, enjoy the content, enjoy the subs, enjoy the emotes, enjoy the sub only content,
right,
for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I like lonely, maybe just because I can't like directly interact with like y'all and some of my other friends that are on Twitch. Like I can't directly support through, like I preferred giving raids more than I preferred getting raids myself. Like that was like something that I was more jazzed up about. I'm sad that I can't directly support that way, but I don't know. It's not as lonely as I originally thought it would be. I feel like I've been pretty lucky, and like a good core of my community has followed me over here, and y'all have obviously followed me over here. That's been nice. But I get what you're saying though, like the random raids, stuff like that. It's a bit more isolated than that. Like
and it's the other side of like, not even the fact of necessarily that your community hasn't supported, or my community or whoever's community doesn't go over. It's the fact of like inside of Twitch, right? Like if we're all gaming and doing something, Like inside of Twitch, I would see, Chicken Boy or Stevens or, one of your viewers, Pork Chapo or what, like they would, they would be bouncing between all of our streams, right? And just kind of chatting and doing these things, or, the multi-stream, which you can still do, right? It's not like these things don't still exist, but there's just something that's different between going into Twitch and then being able to, okay, cool. I've watched a couple minutes here. I'm gonna bounce over to this person's stream and watch some over here, bounce, then loading up another website, going up over here, finding my person. Okay, cool. And then just, I don't know, that is a barrier, right? That is a barrier of entry.
It is 100%. It is. I get it.
So it does add that aspect, but I think all of these things are great. Like continue doing it, because I'm telling you, if you continue going down the route you're going, continuing to build new features, continuing to actually give a shit about your program or whatever else, Twitch is doing this, YouTube will continue to do this, and I think YouTube could really be a great place to offer some competition to Twitch. So
I just want them to bring emotes out to anybody that's able to monetize. I am looking forward to that, because I have so many fucking emotes that I cannot wait to share over here. That was honestly, like, outside of everything, moving over here from Twitch, losing the emotes was the biggest heartbreak, because not only was it like something that I was really proud of, but Britt was really proud of them for making them, and the community really loved them, and we still get to use them in the Discord, but I cannot wait to share them on YouTube again and see them in the chat constantly. It'll be really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. Well, guys, that is the news section of our show. And again, if you are new here, we go and we talk about Twitch news, we talk about YouTube news, and we go into what we're playing. And if you ever have to bounce out, guys, by the way, you can check us out on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or any of your favorite podcasting apps. We're across all of them, and we also have video podcasts that are up on Spotify, so you can go and watch the video there if you can't watch it on YouTube. Yeah. Or on Twitch. So make sure that you check us out on one of those platforms, and show us some love, guys. All right, so moving on, we are moving over to the video portion of the show. So Bill's been playing Elden Ring, lots of Elden Ring, and doing those kind of things, right? But
yeah.
There are a lot of I've been playing some new games, and myself and Enigma and Scruffy have been playing some games together. Obviously, we've been playing Blood Hunt. That's still a thing, right? Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. A lot of fun there. We talked about it last episode. If you want to take a look at it, go back there and check it out there. But another vampire game has released, and it has taken over our soul probably more than Blood Hunt has. And this is Vampire, or I'm sorry, well, it stands for Vampire Rising, but V Rising. V Rising.
The Juna Rising.
Yeah. V Rising is a, so it's, okay. It is made by Stunlock Studios. It is, which are the creators of Battle Right? But it is a top-down vampire-based survival, loot game, and it's top-down isometric. So take Rust, take Albion, and take, like, not really Diablo. I guess Rust and Albion really would be it. Like, kind of jam those together, and that is what you have. Oh, this is the moment where Bill comes in and my chat comes in and forces me to kill these people. Like,
I didn't force you to do anything.
I didn't do nothing.
I
just you did that all on your own, bro.
I whispered evil in your ear, but you're the one who listened.
Anyway, so there's a couple of different ways to play it.
What did they say to you right there when you just kind of rolled into their thing? Where they're just like, get the fuck up?
No, they were actually really nice. They're like, hey, what's going on, man? We're just getting started. Like, how's the game? I was like, oh, it's not bad. It's good. You know, it's not terrible. Blah blah blah. And then the murdering commenced. Have
you they forgiven you yet?
Oh, absolutely not. And to the fact that they actually built a wall right at that area that I was coming down. So They built a wall there. So to explain it, right, you have a base, you build it out like Rust, right? The building in this game is really well, and you can play on full PvP servers, which is what I'm playing on. You can play on partial PvP servers, which is basically you still keep your loot, you just die and you go back to your base, or you can play on a PvE server, right, where it's you and your buddies, and you can host a server, you can join one of their servers, you can buy a server. There's a lot of different options. But I'm on a full PvP server. So the thing about this is you place down your base, but they do such a great job. Like unlike in like Rust and things like that, where it's basically just like whoever has the most amount of mats is gonna win. This is a game where, like, you can see me right here. I'm placing down plots of land based on how upgraded my domain is, or my castle heart. And then I can actually go in and, like, those blue lines, that's my area. That's my castle. So that's my domain. I have taken stake in that land. Nobody can go and take stake over it unless they destroy my castle heart. So, like, the guys that were against me up above, they can't just come down and start building on my land. And likewise, so they built a wall there. Well, you asked me how have they forgiven me? We blew up that wall and then went in there and destroyed their base. So no.
Oh no, you did more. You did more evil.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's rough.
So we didn't tell you to do that. So that's on you, boo boo, not me.
So he's like, Bill. What was it you said? You were like, don't think about it. Kill, yes or no, or something like that.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
you came in.
It's sin. You're an asshole in video games. Kill.
Yeah. So I went in and
I remember the fishing hamlet. You staked your character there, and it will haunt you forever.
Not only
so now he's the warden of the forest.
Right? Not only that, but the night before, on his stream, his exact words were, "Well, Enigma, you're playing on a PvE server, so it doesn't really count that way." And I'm like, "Bitch, please! You literally just walked past somebody and didn't fucking kill him, and you're on a PvE server. You're on a PvP server. You're gonna tell me I'm not doing it right, you motherfucker?"
Okay, to be fair, right? To be fair, I just want to make sure it's known. The people that he's calling me a bitch for not going out and after them and killing them are now my next door neighbors that we are friends with, and we are ruling the whole entire land. So yeah, no, we're doing good. But
no, bro, you're not doing it correctly now.
You can have up to 4 people in your clan, right? But no more than 4. The developers have said that they want to make the game, like, they don't want massive clans ruling the land. There's so, I mean, we could spend the rest of the show talking about this, but Enigma, I want to get your
probably will too.
Opinion on this. Like, what are you, like, you're the one that turned me on to this game, so what are your thoughts?
It's good, man. I've been enjoying it so far. The base building, I've been really enjoying the base building. I think they do it extremely well, even for it being like a top-down isometric game. The only problem I have with it is, like, if you are in a PvP server, like, there's no like block for people to be able to look into your base and kind of see what's going on. Because so,
like right here,
if you've ever played, if you've ever played Rust, right? The good part about Rust is you can make a base that's honeycombed, right? Or you can make a base that has different layers, certain sections that are meant for, like, blasting into, and then, oh shit, you've got 2 other walls, right? Well, in this one, that's not really the case. They can just look into your base and be like, okay, there's his loot room, or okay, there's his coffin room, right? So I think they need to kind of work on that. But other than that, I don't really have too many complaints about the game, man. Like, I think that they did for an early access, and let's put a pin in that right there, right? This is early access. This isn't done. This is but far from done. Actually, I think they said they're going to be in early access for like a year. They have 30 bosses, granted, right? So this game, one of the ways that you get, or the only way that you get, like, different powers and stuff, is you have to go after these certain named bosses in the world, and in order to do that, you have to build a blood altar that allows you to kind of detect and track where those bosses are, right? There's 30 of those motherfuckers, and this thing's in early access. That's insane to me, dude. Like
how much variation is there between the bosses?
A lot. Each boss has like different abilities and different
there
attack
can be
styles.
a son of a bitch to kill.
Yeah. Like I was going up against one of the mid game bosses last night, and he's completely different from every one of the bosses that I've been up against. The like 6 or 7 that I've been up against so far. So,
yeah. But it's
I don't know.
It's cool. Like you can see like there's a blood there's like a blood scent kind of coming off. Like right there, you can see there's a blood scent kind of coming off. That's where you can track down your prey. You know, and there's several different weapons. Well, yeah, there's like 4. Actually, there may be more. I can't speak on that.
Well,
but like,
that's what I was about to say. We've only seen the first. So you've got an axe, you got a spear, you got a sword, you got a hammer, and you've got the what's it called, the crossbow, right? So you've got 5 starting off. There's still 4 other weapons that we haven't gotten.
I've seen a scythe. I know I've seen that.
Yeah, there's scythes. There's like these dual wield things. Actually, there might be only like 3. There's scythes. There's dual wield things. There's like these dual wield blades, and then I think there's one more that I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. But that's all late game. So
it really is cool. And the other thing I like about it too is there's no, so you don't have to worry about like necessarily the way that you build your character. Like if you see the I have a number beside my name, that's my level. That's all based on the gear I'm wearing. So it's not like if I take off my axe and I put on something else, my gear level is going to go down, or my level is going to go down. And there's no like, you're not putting points into like blood or whatever else. So there's not any way that you can be like, oh, I kind of fucked myself because I didn't have enough points in this or this. And there's no like, I mean, you could I guess min max, because the armor sets, they do give you like bonuses to magic damage, bonuses to this, but like that's really up to your play style. And things like that. But it's the small little touches, man. And for an early access game made by a smaller than AAA team, I mean, I've not run into any fucking bugs. Or at least like game breaking bugs where I've had to like force hard stop, right, and go blue screen or anything like that. The finite detail that they do that does make the game nice. Like whenever you're panning around, things will go invisible so you can see around them. There is line of sight. I love that. Like you can go, like if someone was on the other side of this tree, I wouldn't be able to see them unless I rotate my camera, a certain way. It's just, and then also too, like the sunlight, like it's fucking crazy that there's what the hell? Thanks, Twitch. There is a sunlight element where if you go into sunlight, you start to take damage. And if you are in sunlight for too long, you will die. So you're like at night, you're like, yeah, frolicking, doing whatever you want. And then the day you're like fucking jumping from shadow to shadow to shadow to shadow.
Dude, it's fucked, man. Like that mid game boss that I was doing last night, I had to clear out an entire like camp, right? And I did that at nighttime. I got to the boss at daytime and there was no shadow in that arena, right? So I was sequestered to like one little corner, like this one tiny patch of fucking shadows, to fight that guy, and I died because I couldn't move, right? So it does affect you quite hard, like
that
being
just
in the
sounds
sunlight.
Annoying.
It's crazy. It's
not.
You would think so, but it's not. It's really not. It's more of a.
It sounds like the world turns into a poison swamp.
It's more of a, I need to be strategic with when and where I go to do these combat missions, right?
And you get things like potions and stuff like that later on that allow you to be out in the sun more.
And stuff.
And
gotcha.
It really honestly
sounds like a way of artificially slowing down the game, is like that mechanic. I don't like those style mechanics
it's not slowing you down at all. It's just hindering you from progressing very, very minutely. You can still go out in the sun, like you can still move out in the sun. You just got to make sure that you dodge between shadows.
And also too, like the only time that I've ever had a situation where I was like, fuck, this sucks, was like if I was getting ganked or I was in the middle of a fight, and like, because it also, the sun rotates, which means the shadows rotate, so you rotate with them. I
guess if there's enough interaction and stuff that it makes it okay. I just don't like things that are inconvenient for inconvenience's sake. But if it's a mechanic that they've thought out, fleshed out, and there's enough interaction to make it enjoyable, then
I mean, you're a vampire,
Right.
What'd you expect?
Yeah.
I mean, Alucard doesn't give a shit about the sun.
Well,
yeah. I actually don't mind it. Also, too, because there are abilities that push people away. So, like, I've been in a fight where literally I'm duking it out in the shadows, and then all of a sudden I use kind of like this counter that explodes and it forces someone back, and it pushed them out into the sun. And for them to get back to me, and then I basically iced them to slow them down, and they died because I was like, "You're gonna be in the sun for too long." So it really isn't terrible, because even like this, like the littlest sliver of fucking shadow you can get in and be fine. Like, I've not felt an inconvenience by it.
Yeah, I really haven't. Like I said, the most inconvenient thing that I have was that I mismanaged my time, and the arena that I was in fucked me because there wasn't any trees or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
What's the end game looking like? I know you guys haven't gotten there yet, but I'm sure some of you have looked into what end game looks like right now.
I haven't really looked into it at all, honestly. Like I've been wanting to make sure I don't ruin.
That's
it for
where
myself.
these kinds of games live and die. So,
like I said, there's 30 bosses in there, and
I mean, 30 bosses is all fine and dandy.
I've
but
taken on
once
6, and each one of those 6 has had different abilities and different movement sets. So
yeah, but once you get through those, like, where does the game take you? I'm sure it's going to be grinding gear score and stuff like that, like most of these games are. But I'm just curious on what aspect, like what tasks you're going to need to do to be able to like.
So from what I can tell so far, and then from a little bit of research that I've done on it, the bosses themselves, they have an RNG loot, right? So just like world bosses anywhere else, like, yes, you can do them enough times that you'll get it, but they have a loot table which they'll drop certain loot that but it's RNG based, so it's not like they're gonna drop it every time. And from what it seems, that RNG level loot table is pretty low for how I've fought something like 6 times, and it has not dropped for me yet. So I don't know, and it's like a pattern for something. The other side of it, I think, in the PvP element aspect of it, like, to me, that keeps it engaging and going. But they've also said,
but you're on a PvP server,
right? But for non-PvPers, there's also a rumor leak out there that basically a lot of this stuff is going to be like, they are introducing dungeons into the game. That they are going to introduce like in-game kind of like raids. Like they have this coined as an MMO. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole they're going to go with that. Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. The developer came out and said it's not.
On Steam, well, on Steam it's tagged as an MMO.
I mean, on Steam it might be tagged as an MMO, but the developer literally came out and said this is not an MMO. Don't think of it as an MMO.
Okay, well, it's tagged as an MMO. So let me just say that it's tagged as an MMO. Whether or not they are going to stick to any kind of like dungeons, raids, or whatever else, I have no idea. So, but I'm having a good time.
I will say that they have a system in it called it's called servants, and that might be something towards the later game. I'm not entirely sure. My servants, I have one, and right now I can't do anything with it because I'm locked behind doing this boss that gives me the ability to use iron, essentially. So I have to go and kill him. But they do have servants, and you can send them out to do things. Like, you can send them out on hunts, you can send them out to gather certain equipment or resources and stuff like that, from everything that I understand. So I think the end game pretty much predominantly is kind of like I don't know. The end game that I'm looking at is going to be collecting like the blood types, because each and every blood type, or there's a few different blood types. When you go over and I call it sucking them off. Obviously, that's not what it's called. I think it's called like just feeding. But whenever you go and feed on somebody, each one gives you a specific type of blood type. So there's like rogue, there's warrior, there's worker, there's creature, and each of those gives you 5 tiers of passive abilities. So like percentage to movement speed, percentage to crit chance, percentage to damage with swords, stuff like that. But each and every one of those, there's a percentage based on the specific mob that you've gone and fed off of, right? And so I think the end game, at least for me, is going to be going out there and capturing those mobs that have like the 100% blood type for that specific type that I'm looking for, and then you can capture them and keep them in your castle to basically feed off of whenever you're ready to go. Kind of like Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah,
bloody Pokemon.
It's really good. It's really, really good. I'm very happy with it. And I am losing a lot of time in it, and I am loving it every minute of it. So,
Glad you guys are having a good time with it.
yeah. I know that your chat also has mentioned this game, and yeah, it's Evil Dead is another game I've been playing. So, Evil Dead is
Wait. You put down Tetris long enough to play 2 other games?
it's
What?
crazy. I still play Tetris at night, almost every night. I still play Tetris right before I go to bed.
Hell yeah, you do. In VR?
No, not in VR. I should do it in VR though.
You should.
So, actually, you know what? I'm going to show this one first. So this is.
Please don't show that killer footage. You will literally make me hurl.
Well, I'm going to have to show that at some point, but I'm going to show the survivor footage.
Just watching it right now, I'm like, oh.
So, Evil Dead, asynchronous multiplayer game. There is a single player mode. There is a horde mode or a PvE mode, but it's really not the basis behind the game. This is think Dead by Daylight. I think Friday. It's more akin to Friday the 13th than I would say Dead by Daylight. This is obviously based off the Evil Dead franchise. And it's got some really cool things like you're playing four survivors versus 1 demon or 1 killer. Survivors play in the typical, third person mode. And I'm trying to get in here where you can actually get to see some stuff. Here we go. And you load into the map. And your objective is basically you're going to find the pages of the Necronomicon and the dagger of, I want to say Ashanti, but I don't think that's right. I forgot the name.
I think you're right.
It may be the dagger of Ashanti.
Ashanti.
And you are basically there as survivors to destroy the Necronomicon. As you're doing it, you're looting stuff. You're finding gear. You're finding the pages, so that when you get to the end, you can survive the onslaught that the killer brings. I like the survivor gameplay more than I like the killer gameplay, and I like the survivor gameplay in this more than I like DbD Survivor. I think that it does add an element where you can at least there's a fight back mechanic. There is a mechanic where you can actually feel like you're doing something against the killer versus in DbD where it's just kind of like, I don't know. I've always felt that the survivor is just a minor nuisance to the killer. Honestly.
Yeah. That's always been my biggest issue with DbD is that you can't fight back against the killer. Like, and we've talked about this plenty of times where I think that's both mine and Scruffy's biggest issues with DbD is just like the inability to actually do anything to the killer. Granted, you guys say that survivors in DbD can be overpowered. I don't think so, but that's on me. I don't play the game.
100%. Trust me, if 4 survivors are synced up, they bully hard, man.
I don't doubt it. It's a hard one for me to. It's a hard pill for me to swallow to be like, I can't do anything against this guy. I literally cannot do anything against him other than flash a flashlight in his face.
Well, I think it goes in with DbD. It goes in waves, right? It's whatever the meta is. Like, is it survivor meta right now, or is it a killer meta?
This one definitely to me seems like the survivors are more overpowered than the killer. 100%.
I think so, and I think that it goes into reasons that I was going to talk to you about next, which is basically like as a survivor, it's pretty cut and dry, right? Like you're looting, you're getting your stuff, you're going around the bases. There's cool things, you can drive cars, but in this you're managing your fear levels. So like if you get too afraid, like at the bottom, you can't really see it, but like underneath my health bar, which is the white bar, there is a fear gauge. If my fear gauge goes too high, I can be possessed. Right by the demon.
I thought you were going to say that you got put on a show called Naked and Afraid and were forced to survive with another person.
Pretty much, but so it's that's the whole thing. Like you're managing kind of that, and you're driving around and you're doing all these things. Like so, it's pretty cut and dry, right? So I'm going to move over to the killer side, right? Because this goes in, and then when you can look away, do whatever you have to. So as a killer, let me go back here. This is the viewpoint that you take as a killer, right? So I'm rewinding it back so you can see it. but it is
just watching him skate like that. Oh, my stomach.
It is this like first person mode that you're like traveling around the map. Cool concept in theory, but the problem is it's super skatey, right? Like you're floating like a spirit, and like so when you go to cut a corner, you're almost like drifting around corners. Then on top of that, it's like the camera like does this like weird pan out. It's almost like if Michael Bay developed your camera in a fucking video game. It's like having this like weird like turn you know, kind of to it that's very off-putting. It also is difficult because the map is very large, right? And so as a killer, you're like you only get shown 2 points. As a survivor, it tells you where your next map page is. Like it says, hey, you need to go over here to find the next map page. So as a killer, you're kind of at a disadvantage because you also have to go around and hunt for these little red orbs to power yourself up to be able to cast spells. And you can summon creatures, you can summon a boss, or you can possess somebody, right? And you can set like, and then you can set traps and things like that. And it, to me, I mean, yes, maybe if you got it down and like you really wanted to understand like the fine-tuned mechanics of being like a killer in this, I could get it, but like it's not fun. Like I can go into DbD and be a killer and have a blast. I can't, it's very difficult for me to go into this and have a good time because like if I spend all my points here just to like say, hey, I'm going to spend my shit to trap this place really well and they get by it, well, I'm fucked. It's kind of like, okay, well, there's not much I can do, right? Because right now they're out there leveling up and getting a bunch of shit and I've got really dick all to do because if they're not getting in cars or anything like that, I don't know where they're at on the map. So I could go completely all the way across the map, never see one person. And then, you know, it's kind of rough. So I don't know. It's like,
seems like the learning curves on the killer side. I wouldn't say necessarily that the killer is bad or weak or anything. I just don't, it's such a new concept that I think people are going to take a minute to actually get used to how it works.
yeah,
I will say that it is very disorienting, the movement style. Like,
yeah, it's bad, man.
Yeah,
I can't even watch this right now because it's making my stomach crawl.
I'm trying to get to a point where I take somebody over. Well, it should be showing up soon. Like, so some of the abilities that you can do, like you can, like, again, you saw it right there where I just scared somebody. So I'm like scaring him. But I don't know why the A is not show up. So it says SC red. I don't know what the hell. I'm like, okay, cool. But I just possessed a body, so now I can walk around and actually do attacks and do damage and stuff like that. It's like there's minor changes I think that could have been done to the killer to make them more effective. There's also a really bad stun lock issue. Like if you get hit, you kind of get jolted backward and stunned, and you can't, like, if you get chain CC or chain hit, you're not doing shit. Like whether you're a killer or a survivor, you're not doing shit. Like you're literally just gonna keep getting reeled backward and backward and backward, which is rough. But like if they were to just take the camera to me and make it a full blown like almost like strategy style game where you're like top down looking over the map and like placing shit down, and then you can zoom into one area and become something on that map. I think that fixes a lot of things. And again, Bill, you're not wrong. Like it's a new style, right? This is something that's not been done before like this. So I do want to give it time.
I will say that I have seen killers that have completely rocked people. Like it is not that hard to be. I mean, I'm sure it's hard to be a good killer, but it is not that difficult to come across a killer, I think, that does well at killing. Because I was watching Berg Black and a couple other streamers, and they were getting rocked by several killers. Yeah. It seems like as well that the I think it's the Necromancer is extremely overpowered in comparison to the other two killers.
Yeah, like the Puppeteer feels very odd. You know, and it doesn't really mesh really well. And each class has their own ability. I don't know, it's a fun time, like it's enjoyable. I would much rather play this than I would rather play DbD. I would say that. Even though DbD feels more fine-tuned, I feel like this is a more enjoyable experience. Even queuing up solo, this is a more enjoyable experience.
Question for you: do you think this game's going to stay fun like that? Because I feel like the problem with DbD and the reason why it's like kind of polarized is it's become too competitive in a way. I feel like it's becomes like people have gotten so good at the game on both fronts, killer and survivor, that
sweaty.
Yeah, the skill ceiling and stuff has just made it so that it's too sweaty. People are only running the most optimal perks on both sides of the field, and if you're not, then you're at a disadvantage and you're not going to have fun. You can't like have fun with like unique combinations, because if you do, and the other side just brings the best things, then
yeah.
you lose there just because.
Yeah, I think I want to say there's yes and no, and here's the reason. I don't think it's because about people being too toxic or being too sweaty, right? I think because there is an element to the game of randomness with really being what I think on the survivor side, a good dependence on loot, right? Versus your build, because there is a build mechanic here. Like you get points and you can put it into a skill tree, and I could try to find it, but it would take me a minute to like try to find the VOD where there's like a skill tree. But you have a book that you can go in and you can level up, right? And each character has a different ability set, and yeah, you could essentially quote unquote have a really good build, but a lot of it is still based off of loot. Like the build stuff that you do is kind of around, hey, if you happen to get this weapon, right, that is like an epic or legendary weapon, then it may help you here, right? Or this ability will do a little bit better, but it's not something that's like, oh, because you're running this build and it's a meta build and that's it. Like there is a very much randomness to the looting, where I think that will keep it up. Where I think the game is probably going to it needs to keep up or struggle. It's going to struggle is content. When you make a game around Evil Dead, when you make a game around Friday the 13th, right? Well, it's like you're locked in, man. You're like, where else am I gonna go, right? Like, yeah, they need to release another map because they've only got one map and you just have different parts of it. But if like they need to go to like S Mart, right? So I can go into S Mart, but I could go to King Arthur's court, right? Or the castle, right? But it's not like they could just start adding on to fucking Evil Dead. It's a locked in kind of thing, like there's only a certain amount of characters. Whereas in DbD, it's like, fuck, I can do whatever I want, right? I could pull in another character. I could pull in a fucking a killer, right, from a movie like Pinhead or something like that.
I'm surprised that they didn't pull the license from DbD, honestly.
Yeah,
because Ash is in DbD, like what they did with the Stranger Things character or something.
Yeah,
I think that's a good business move. I don't think
they will.
Yeah, I don't see why they would. They're just making money from two places now.
Well, I still think this is a very I think it's still a very different game, right? Like I don't know if this is going to pull your DbD fans over. Like DbD fans.
Yeah, but I don't think whatever the Stranger Things people were planning on making, whatever game they're working on or whatnot, would have competed that much either. But they still decided to pull it anyway.
You're talking about Netflix, though. Netflix are known to be kind of d-bags when it comes to that kind of stuff, like licensing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but they kept their licensing agreement with the Smite people. So
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe Behavior was doing something weird that Netflix didn't like, because Behavior's kind of they're being funky right now.
No, we're gonna talk about it. It's coming up. Don't worry. It is a topic of discussion for where Behavior is at right now. But this is Evil Dead, right? It's hey, it's I like it.
I think I would like the killer aspect of this. Like, I like that kind of like. I think I would prefer that over, not necessarily over Dead by Daylight killer style, but I think it's refreshing. I think it's neat. I like the kind of like you become the kind of like Left 4 Dead. You become the game director.
Right. Well, this is very popular, I will say, on consoles. Like consoles have eaten this up. It's sold extremely well on Xbox and on PlayStation. It is crossplay. Fucking weird thing. Voice chat is either on or off. There is no push to talk, which is a really weird option. There's no push to talk. But
can you mute people individually?
Nope. So it's either on or off. Which they may fix that. That may be I feel like that's an oversight.
Question.
Yeah.
Queue times. How are those? Because that's always something that's awkward with the 4-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. So as
crossplay helps with that a lot.
It does. I won't say like they're not DbD bad, right? Like when you're a killer trying to find a match, I feel like it's pretty rough. The higher up you go on this, I actually It's not terrible. Like, couple minutes, I can find a match easily. As Survivor, I think it actually takes longer. I think because that skill level on a killer is so high, or not so high, but it's a curve. People are like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play Survivor. And I don't want to play killer. So if you play a killer, you actually get queued pretty quick. From what I can tell. And that Survivor, it's a little bit longer, but not too bad. I think this is a perfect community game. Again, I can see like your community where, because there's such a dynamic aspect of the killer and being so spread apart and not knowing everything and stuff that's going on. Like, I think it's a great private community game. I'm going to continue to play it. I'm having fun with it.
How long do matches last?
So it depends. If you've got really good survivors and your killer's me and you suck ass, then it's going to last all of about 4 minutes, 3 minutes. If it's, it lasts a little bit longer. I'm exaggerating, but it not by much. Like you can see the timer up there. I think there's a timer of, I think it starts off at like 20 minutes total, maybe.
Gotcha.
But it rarely do you have a match that takes that long, right? It usually is pretty quick because if you have
does killer win at 20?
Yes, they don't, because you fail to destroy the Necronomicon. So yeah. But like, I think this one over here, like so here we're 17 minutes in. So if I'm going back and forth, sorry, Enigma, I know you're gonna go back to a camera you saw you hate. On this one, I'm at like 16 minutes and they haven't even gotten the second page. And they're getting the dagger now. On this one, I'm at 16 minutes and they've already got the last page. They're getting the book together and they're now getting the dagger. So like, same time frame, and we're already there. The killer or the survivor's already halfway through because I'm a shit ass killer and this was my first game as a killer trying to figure it out. But I like it, man. It's fun. It's a fun time. I think it really is. It's $40. It's an Epic exclusive. And by the way, V Rising is 20. I forgot to mention that on Steam, $20. But it's $40.
40 is good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think 30 is I feel like 30 would be better price point. 40 is a little, because they also have a $30 season pass that is tacked onto it if you want to buy it. So I don't know. I'm struggling to say that 40 is a good value. I think that it's an okay price. I would have preferred 30. I think that's a better value for what you have, personally. But it's fun.
Considering Dead by Daylight's $50.
Is it? It's been so long since I've bought Dead by Daylight. I've owned it for so long. What, it's $50?
Sorry, $30.
I was about to say, I was like, 50 seems fucking outrageous.
It's 50 on the Windows Store.
It's not even 50. It's 20 on fucking Steam. Dead by Daylight's $20.
That's why I said the Windows Store.
Yeah.
Oh, well, who buys shit on the Windows Store?
I don't know where I was. I don't know where I was seeing that. That was the first thing that popped up whenever I googled Dead by Daylight
for
price.
The Ultimate Edition, it's $59.
It's 30 on consoles. Steam's a little bit cheaper. Yeah. So.
But that's the one thing that I don't know if you guys saw it, but like if your people get too scared, you get possessed. You can possess them. So you can take over their body, and then you're actually fighting as the survivor against other survivors, and they have to like knock you off, which is really cool. So, and the last game that I've played is we'll get to this will be just a few minutes. Is Warhammer.
Put a rush on it.
I'm going to. We got plenty of time. We don't have a lot of news. Warhammer 40,000 shit, 40K.
Wow.
Get
the fuck out of here.
Warhammer 40. Well, it's because it actually says
get your fucking poser ass out of here.
Let me just say it literally is Warhammer 40,000.
Warhammer 40,000.
Most of the games that Games Workshop does and allows and they create are Warhammer 40K. This says Warhammer 40,000. That's why I screwed up. Anyway, Warhammer 40K, Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters. They could tack on one more name because I feel like it's not shortened. It's not long enough. They need a little bit longer title. This game is phenomenal.
Warhammer games for you.
Yeah, this game is phenomenal. It's an XCOM style game. I mean, you go in, the graphics are fucking great. You're going in controlling Space Marines, and you're going up against several different types of other Space Marines. I don't know Warhammer 40K fucking lingo, but like all of these different bad guys. Who? Pork chop? Great. So he'll know. You're going up against all these different kind of fucking bad guys that are like exploding and nasty and gross and whatever else. And it's just fucking great. And there's like elemental environment, like things that you can blow up. You can obviously get Overwatch. If you've played XCOM, you've played this, but this is like visceral and nasty. And like the cinematics are fucking great when you kill somebody and you're throwing a grenade. It like zooms in on the grenade and then like blows up, and it's really cool. It's also fucking tough. Like it's not easy. Even if you're playing on like normal mode, it's still fucking tough. You're getting upgrades, to your weapon. Literally, I'm not kidding. It's XCOM 2 with Warhammer. That's it. Like, and it's $40. This is a phenomenal value for $40. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of XCOM games,
you think this is more value than the Ash versus the Evil Dead for $40?
Yes, I do.
With no multiplayer aspect.
Yeah, no multiplayer, single player to it. There's custom. They're opening it up to Games Workshop, or not Games Workshop, to the Workshop to be able to have custom campaigns made. They're allowing for Workshop. Whenever you do that, you're gonna get custom modes, custom people, all that kind of stuff. So I have no doubt that you'll see a multiplayer aspect added in, because this is. You don't think so?
No, because even XCOM doesn't have a multiplayer mod for it, or the one that works at least very well.
Yeah, but is XCOM opened up to Workshop?
Yeah,
I didn't think Xbox was opened up to XCOM was open to Workshop.
Yeah,
no, I don't know.
XCOM 2 is, I think.
I didn't think so, but maybe. I don't know. It's great. The game is fucking phenomenal. It literally is. Like, it's a great game. I do think it's worth $40 because you will well get more than 40 hours out of it. So, yeah, that's it. That's all of the games that I've been playing. So, okay.
That Sin's been playing.
That Sin has been playing. That's it. Yep. We're just gonna. That's what the title of the show.
I mean, that's pretty much what it's been the last several fucking podcasts.
Hey man, I can't. Don't knock me because I'm playing different games, bro. I'm expanding my palette when it comes to gaming. Shut up. So, anyway, play other games, assholes.
I'm doing a Spirit Ashes only run in Elden Ring.
What is that?
The summons, the little ghosty summons.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're playing the pansy way.
Yes, but what the internet would like to say is the pansy way. It's a pacifist run basically. Like I'm not attacking, I'm not doing anything. I'm only buffing and healing my Spirit Ashes and letting them fight everything for me, which is really fucking hard because the game balances that out where you can only like do one summon per rest. So
interesting.
If they die, they die, and then you're gotta go back to a save point. So it's been a lot of fun though. It's a different way of been playing it, and I'm enjoying it.
Nice.
Since I didn't use them very much for my initial run because the community is toxic.
Pansy.
So moving on to the news section. There's not a whole lot of news again, like we said. Nudes? We're doing nudes?
The nudes section?
Nice. All right. Well, hey, man, this show became a lot more sexier. Let's just say that.
No, that's over on YouTube with the nude.
The naked yoga?
Oh, yeah. We just got to do some yoga while we talk.
Oh, that's it. That's the new show. We're going to start doing our podcast while doing naked yoga, and we're going to be the first naked yoga gaming news outlet. That's phenomenal. I think it's a great idea. And we're going to create our own wiki. It's going to be phenomenal. We're gonna skyrocket to the top.
I don't know about that. I think we might have to take that idea back to the drawing board.
Yeah, you think so?
Conversation for a minute.
Well, another game or something else that's on the drawing board is there is a new game coming out called Marvel Snap, and
Snap.
I don't know if it's like Snap like Thanos snapped or if it's like Snap like you go girl Snap.
But like Pokemon Snap.
or Pokemon Snap. I don't know. It could be any of those, but it's Marvel Snap.
We're gonna be on a rail shooter where we're taking photos of the Avengers while they're fighting.
I'd play that game. I'd play that game. I'd play that game before I play Marvel Avengers. So, but it is made by former Hearthstone devs. It is going to be a card, like they are describing it as a card-based game with a quick action. Or what did they say? A quick turn-based card system. That is a 1v1 multiplayer collectible game.
Can't wait to see how they fucking milk money out of this one. If it's from the Hearthstone devs, I have no faith that this isn't going to be a Wales game.
It's from the former Hearthstone devs. Ooh, you know what? Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find
that doesn't mean anything. That just means that they had time to hone their skills of milking you out of everything that you own.
Yeah.
let me see if I can you know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
Speaking of Hearthstone, while you're talking, I just want to shout out my dude well, give me 1 sec. My dude Jake in my community. He is in the top 5,000 players in Hearthstone.
That is
he slid that credit card quite a few times, hasn't he?
I think he's completely free to play. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, but I think you're completely free to play, right? And yeah, he's really fucking good at Hearthstone now, and
nice.
He's very proud. So
I played Hearthstone for like a minute.
Big flexies on that.
I like Hearthstone. I don't have any qualms with Hearthstone. They did a good job. You know what? I'm just gonna use this one. Give me a sec. I'm loading up so we can actually see the trailer that they have. So they have a trailer for this game.
Why is it so small?
It's not. It's not on this one. Full screen it and it looks better. Can't tell. Let me see. If I full screen, I think it's gonna get cut, right? Oh yeah, it gets cut. Okay. Well, we'll go here. This is what it looks like. Anyway, this is the gameplay trailer for Marvel's Snap. I see they spent no time getting America Chavez in there from the new movie.
New poster child.
Even though she doesn't look anything like that in the movie. So, I'm watching this trailer still trying to figure out who is that? Who is that?
Who's what?
The Iron Man and the female Iron Man.
I don't know.
Don't ask questions.
That's Galactus.
I know that's Galactus. That's Venom. That's like female Iron Man. That's America Chavez. There's Spider-Man. Nope, that's Miles Morales.
Are they doing like T'Challa's sister is like taking over the Iron Man thing? Isn't that a thing?
In the MCU, they are. Yeah.
I think that might be the same thing here then.
Well, who is that big honking Black Panther Hulkbuster outfit? This showed nothing. This showed nothing. This literally showed absolutely nothing. this was a waste of our time to try to get.
He's so excited about it.
That's great. I don't want to like. How are you gonna do a gameplay trailer but not have any gameplay except for like very very small little cuts? I don't know.
Exact same way that everybody does.
The Marvel universe has taken the reverse stance on video games to movies. The movies are really fucking good, but they can't make a good video game to save their life.
It's true.
Yeah, right.
Unlike like Resident Evil or Assassin's Creed, where the games are okay, but the movies are just fucking dog shit. Or Prince of Persia. I blame Ubisoft.
What worries me about this is that this reminds me of when Marvel went down the licensing line in like the 90s, right? Where just they made in like the early 2000s when like everybody got to do whatever the fucking thing they wanted to.
This looks really bad.
Yeah, this looks like
mobile game territory. Like
I think it's supposed to be a mobile game.
It's let me see if did they say so at launch Marvel will only be available on mobile games.
Yeah,
but there is an early access PC version.
But they're pulling a Blizzard. It'll come to PC though.
Don't you have
y'all don't have phones?
Don't you have phones?
No, this looks bad, dude. This Like,
Yeah, I don't know. This is okay. I don't know. I mean,
look
I'm not.
how laggy that interface was. Rewind that back to them like side scrolling through that menu. That looks bad.
I don't know. I don't know which menu that. I don't know. You got to remember, I'm a little well seeing delayed, but you guys are delayed from there. I don't. It's look. I don't. It's coming. Like, did we need it? No. Did we ask for it? No. Do we want it? No. Like, oh, you're talking about that interface? That might be because she was coding. Like, I don't know. It's yeah. Hey, it's a thing.
Did that lady's t-shirt say shawarma?
Probably.
That's great. I want that t-shirt. Actually, I kind of want that t-shirt now.
It wouldn't surprise me. This is just yeah, this is rough, man. This is not where I want my Marvel franchise to go. I want a Marvel Heroes game again. Like, give me Marvel Heroes. So anyway,
yeah. There's a mini game in Final Fantasy 15 that looks similar to this, but I think might do it better.
I will say that the artwork on the cards looks dope. I like the artwork on the cards at least.
In before every card is an NFT.
Oh, yeah. It's probably already there. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll be something great. Okay, so we talked about
great, like that. What's that fucking DC game that's out right now that looks?
You're talking about DC, not the MMO, right?
Gotham Knights.
Oh my god,
Knights, yeah.
That game looks like shit. Like,
that game looks like Marvel's Avengers,
shit.
like that pretty level much. Bad.
It's bad. So we talked about DbD a little bit. We talked about behavior. I like literally the question I put on here for news is
why?
What is going on with DbD? Like, what is going on with behavior? So it's I'm gonna start with the mild, and then we're just gonna get into the real weird. Okay, so
I'm actually really excited about the next chapter in DbD.
Okay, we can talk about it, but first, behavior bought Scavengers, like the studio that made Scavengers. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
I own Scavengers. That game's fun. It's not very good, but it's fun.
Is it even still alive? Like, I guess it is because they own it now. But
yeah, it's still alive. The like PvE aspect, it's not super well polished, but the PvE aspect's fun.
Oh well, you know who will fix the polish? Behavior Studios. Okay,
it's
a joke. By the way,
it's like third-person Borderlands meets Hunt Showdown. I think it's intriguing. I've only played a few matches of it, but
I did not personally like it. But it's it is.
We played that shit on beta though. Like, it was
yeah.
rough.
Maybe it's better now. I don't know. But they bought Scavengers.
I still won't go and play it, so I'm good.
There's that, right? That was the first kind of thing. Then I saw they're doing an Attack on Titans crossover. So I don't know if this is like skins are coming over, or there's going to be a Titan killer, or what?
I think it's just skins.
But there's skins that are coming over. So, like, okay, that's a little weird.
Attack on Titan, it's not as weird as you think, because Attack on Titan just got done doing a Modern Warfare crossover as well.
Oh, I'm not saying
it's fucking weird though.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not okay with like crossovers. I'm just saying it's a very weird thing for like Attack on Titan to be in. I don't care whether it's Call of Duty, which is still fucking odd, or DbD.
Yeah, but like, Call of Duty's got people grinding prestige off of King Kong's nutsack right now. So
Call of Duty is in such a weird fucking place. We're so far from what Call of Duty was. To the real juicy. Let's just. I really want to talk about this, man. There is a Dead by Daylight dating simulator that is coming out.
Yeah, like, man.
What?
Yeah, man. What? Like Dream Daddy, but like Kill Daddy.
How? Why? How? Who asked
you know
for
why?
This? No.
I blame Reddit. Because the Dead Rule 34. Yep. The Dead by Daylight community is thirsty as actual fuck, and
for some reason they sweat it all out, so they got to.
For some reason, they just want to bone Ghostface, and The fucking
Granny,
plague.
she just looks so great. Oh,
yeah, Vommy Mommy. And
oh man,
I here you go. I have it. Hold on. We can watch it. There you
nobody
go.
asked to watch it though. Nobody asked for that.
No, you got to see it. If I had to watch it, you have to watch it. What the
Listen,
fuck
man,
is this, dude? What the fuck is this? This is who? Yeah, who asks for this, man? Like, I want to meet the people.
This is some weird
Yo,
shit, man.
Huntress, baby.
Okay, I see you, Spirit. She got that big titty mommy going on. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's
is the community
hooked on you? Wow.
Is the community the same? Like, are the people that are playing Dead by Daylight playing dating sims? Like, are they playing the boyfriend simulator games? Like, is that the same?
I love it. Honestly, I think it's weird. It's so weird that it's interesting.
Is it?
You and I have far different definitions of interesting then apparently, because that is weird as fuck.
I don't.
I'm good, I'll pass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like, I just. Okay, I guess sure.
There's a market for it. I assure you. Type in DbD art on Twitter and you will.
No, I've seen stuff that, like, because yes, I get it that there are people that are into like horror corn, right, and like that kind of behavior, and they, I get that, but like, this is so far beyond like the scope of what this game is.
They gave Huntress those Chun-Li thighs.
I like, there's very few things that make me speechless, and I'm kind of like, I keep looking over at my screen as this like keeps replaying on loop, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, this is one of those games on Steam that I'm just like, yeah, can I not have this show up on my fucking like
I just
page?
smile more and more every single time.
This is just, man, dude. How about Behavior makes another game other than this? Like, okay. Anyway, yeah. So you're getting hooked on you coming this summer. I hope y'all have fun with it. Bill, tell me how it is, dude. Man. I guess that will be one of those.
My community is already forcing me to play it, so.
Oh man! All right.
Right. Yeah. I got you. Wink, wink. I got
wink,
you.
Wink.
I got you.
Yeah. So in the same vein, and we talked about Call of Duty being in a weird place. We talked about Marvel Snap being a mobile game. Apex Legends Mobile is coming out. If you're an Apex Legends fan, hey, congratulations! You're gonna be able to play Apex on mobile. The weird thing that, or not weird, but the thing that is kind of throwing some people into a little bit of a tizzy is they are launching with an exclusive champion that you cannot get on PC, which feels weird, considering that game started on PC. Like, that's where it got its foundation. You guys care about this?
I do.
Yeah,
I play Apex still.
Well, no, I'm not saying about I'm saying, do you care? Like, does the exclusivity to mobile?
I care about it in the simple fact that it's a company that's basically blatantly spitting in the face of the player base that made them popular, right? Like, they're basically stating, "Oh, well, PC, fuck you. We can get more money out of mobile."
Well, it's EA being EA.
Yeah,
they are basically going to. I wouldn't be surprised if the mobile version of this game has 2 killers come out for every 1 killer that comes, or killers.
Really?
You think 2 killers.
Legends.
He's stuck on that killer dating.
Bro, he can't.
I'm dazzled, dude.
I'm gonna date that shit, man. I'm gonna get all up in that muscles.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do 2 legends for every 1 legend that comes out on PC. I wouldn't be surprised if the PC legend comes out and then a supplemental legend.
That would be
I genuinely think that they are going to hit the mobile market hard and really milk it. Because for one, I'm pretty sure mobile is going to be free, just like what PC is.
I was going to say, is Apex Legends not free on PC?
Yeah, it is.
But it's I don't know, the mobile gaming atmosphere, I guess, is just built more around microtransactions. So they're going to not only like bring in the cosmetics and stuff, but also like that's an easy way for people to burn money. Is to
Do you think they're gonna make it so that you have to purchase the person or whatever you want to
no,
call
but
it, the operator?
I think they're going to push them out so rapidly that there's no way you're going to be able to farm up the resources unless you're playing an extensive amount of time, which in that case is a win for them as well because they've got you locked in.
Yeah.
Don't you have to buy the legends now?
You do, but you can earn in-game credits to unlock them.
I mean,
I didn't know you had to buy them.
It's been a
Yeah,
minute since I
every
played
time
these.
you level up, you get 200
That's
legend
crazy.
200 legend tokens, and it takes like 12,000 to get a legend. So
I don't know. I don't like the idea of anything ever being exclusive that is on another platform. Now, the only thing I'll say here is that if it's not crossplay enabled, and I seriously doubt that they're gonna make it fucking where
it's not cross-play. It's not even cross-progression.
okay, well, no, none of their shit's
They
not
still don't have
cross-progression.
cross-play with consoles.
No, they
even
have
worse. That just
they have
means you got to go
Or
crossplay.
in
sorry,
and
they still don't have cross-progression with
Yeah.
consoles.
that's so they're not gonna have like you can't just load up your account on mobile.
No, that's the only way that they're able to do something like this. It's basically a completely different game.
It's like
That's
Call of Duty
crazy,
Mobile.
man.
Call of Duty Mobile does the same
Well,
thing. There's no cross
like
progression.
I said in the
Or
podcast chat,
PUBG Mobile.
Yeah.
like I said in the podcast chat, your EA is showing like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's
So,
quite sad that I mean and that who's the developer? I completely Respawn, yes. And it's sad because Respawn has a really good reputation with their player base. Like they have a really good reputation from what's it called? Titanfall, right?
different,
When
by the way,
Titanfall
different
ended
team.
and then everybody was calling for Titanfall 2 and then they dropped Apex Legends, literally dropped the announcement and then released it that same day. Everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome. I love it."
Those same guys though aren't the same people there anymore though. The head of
Okay.
Respawn and them are not the same. They left and they left EA, created Respawn. EA bought Respawn. They cashed out, left. So, which
did they cash out and leave after they created Apex, or is this not the same?
No, they created
Apex. So it's the same people that made Titanfall that made Apex. That's what I was trying to get at is it sucks that all that goodwill that they built up from making those games so lovable to their community, they just cashed out and were just like, fuck it, let's go.
Well, they cashed. The reason they said they wanted to leave was because they don't want to be under EA. They left to be away from EA.
I can understand that. I understand that and I can respect it, but you're still fucking over your player base.
No, I mean, I don't think any company doing a game like this, like where I go to where there's a problem is get cross progression, right? Like I don't give a fuck about like whether I can play with on my mobile, but I should be able to have like my son has got a shit ton of money spent in Apex on console. Well, he has elevated now and grown up and plays now on PC, and he's like, well, I have to go play on console because all my shit's there. Like I'm not rebuying all of this stuff. Like that's fucked up.
That's EA for you, man.
Like instead of making a mobile game, how about you make cross progression your number one thing and then make a mobile game?
And this is a money grab because these new legends that they're pushing out are not supported by lore or anything.
Yeah.
They're simply just playable characters put into the game to inflate the player roster and make it so that players aren't able to earn enough in-game credits to be able to get every legend when they come out immediately. They can with current Apex on PC.
Oh, and the worst part about that is that I would be okay with it if the legend was actually unique, but from everything that I'm reading, it's literally just a direct rip from Tracer, essentially from Overwatch.
Not quite.
I mean, it's a pretty fucking direct rip. But they have almost the exact same abilities.
One ability is the same. The other is not.
They've said that his movement ability is the exact fucking same, pretty much.
The dash?
When he dashes and then fucking slows down time.
I didn't. Because the way. Give me 1 second. Keep talking about it. I want to look it up real quick because I might have misread.
I guess my question: do you think that this bleeds into, like, the way that they're doing things bleeds into Apex? What I'm going to call Apex Prime, right? Like Apex Official, like on the console. Like, do you like putting in heroes or legends that are non-canon to the lore? Because Apex has been very good about, like, they create lore around their characters, and there is a storyline that kind of drafts around all of these people. Do you think that they're just going to get into this mode where, like, hey, we're going to pump out all these fucking non-generic or just generic shit characters, and you're gonna have to buy them because we're making money over here. We could probably do it over on the PC as well.
Yeah,
I don't doubt it. Yeah,
no, that's sad. That sucks.
It does suck. It's a very EA move though, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
Did you find out about that? Because I'm ready to move on to the next. We're ready to move on to the next topic.
I'm looking right here. So it says Fade is just a guy in an edgy mask. He says who is surging forward every 15 seconds, and essentially, where was that at? Launched. Mobile specific. I can't remember where they detailed his powers.
So his passive is
phase-powered mercenary who, like Tracer Overwatch, can rewind time with his tactical ability and sends allies and enemies to an alternate dimension with his ult. He gains speed and boosts after sliding. So, I don't know.
And it is like a dash. So you slide, and then after you get up from the slide, it's on a 10-second cooldown. You slide, and then it kind of like jolts you forward. So very Tracer like, you're right. His tactical is a rewind, which is on a 20-second cooldown. It doesn't heal you, but it does take you back like to previous position, like Tracer
again.
And then his ult is
the only thing that's different on is his ult.
Yeah, he throws a box down, and anybody in the AOE of the box becomes invulnerable.
No.
Friend or foe.
Interesting.
So I don't know. To me, that's pretty much
and it has a
90-second
cooldown. Okay.
To me, that's pretty much a direct rip from. I mean, at least ability wise. I know that you can argue with it that a lot of characters and a lot of games are direct rips from several different games. To me, their current legend roster is fairly unique.
It's
you
very
don't have
unique.
too much.
Yeah,
you don't have too much of an overlap with other games, and for them to just blatantly just be like, oh, we'll just pull that out of Tracer. We'll just pull that out of Overwatch. Granted, fuck Overwatch, right? Whatever. But the fact of the matter is still.
Yo, I heard they've got a new patch coming out, but they're calling it Overwatch 2.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to say Overwatch 2 is
loved it.
It's not terrible, man. We're not gonna get started on this, bro. This is bullshit. You don't have time.
But anyways, as I was trying to say, it's one of those things where it's like if they're gonna go down that route of just like bringing out two new legends on mobile compared to one new legend on PC, they're just gonna crank that shit out, and guaranteed what's gonna happen is you're gonna get overlaps from other games, and that doesn't sit well with me personally, but.
It doesn't with me either. And given the I didn't even notice the quality difference. They're not putting any effort into lore or the character itself, because Apex is very good about lore integration with their characters. There's a reason that they're there. They have them interacting with each other. That's neat as hell. That's a really interesting thing that no other battle royale really does. It's obvious with this character that they don't give a shit, and it's just to have
it's just a money grab.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's Apex Legends Mobile. Do they have a launch date for when that's supposed to happen, or when the game's dropping?
Apex Mobile launch? No, I didn't see one either.
Okay, well, there is Fallout 4 is in the news.
May 17th.
May 17th, yeah. I was just looking.
It already launched then?
Yeah, it's up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, well, go play it if you want.
I'm good.
All right. Well, Fallout is in the news. Not a new one, but Fallout London. And it's, again, not a new game. Fallout London is a Fallout 4 mod.
I love mod communities, man.
You could technically call it a new game. I'm pretty sure it's a full out re-rendition of the entire game.
I mean new game from Bethesda.
That's what I was just saying. You could still call it technically an entirely new game because it is a complete rehaul. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Here's the thing that blows me, and this is why I put it in here, right? That blows me away, is that when was the last time Fallout New Vegas? No. Fallout 76 was the last one that we got, right? Like that's the last Fallout anything that we've gotten. Which was
other than shitty mobile games, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about actual Fallout, like legit. It blows me away, man, that we've been years without a new Fallout game, but yet the modding community's like, fuck it, we'll do it for you. Like we're gonna redo
been
it.
At least, as far as I know, for Fallout 4 alone, there's been at least 4 complete rehauls, like complete remakes for it. I know that there's another one going right now. I can't remember if it's
Miami.
for Fallout 4 or if it's for Fallouts. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I can't remember if it's for Fallout 4 or for New Vegas. I think it might be for New Vegas. Miami might be for New Vegas, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, there's been at least 3 or 4 for Fallout 4 since it released.
Man. It's fucking nuts to me. And this is like a full-fledged, full-blown like thing.
Yeah.
Like actually, I've got another trailer. I can pull up here for this Fallout London. And when I watched this trailer, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I actually may go back to Fallout. Like Fallout, I liked Fallout. It wasn't like something that I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like I've got to play. But I enjoyed my time with it.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm a big Fallout fan, but I was until they fucked us over with 76. But
so Fallout London, this is the gameplay trailer. Again, I was like, wow, man, they did a fucking phenomenal job. Like, this is a pretty lengthy video. Let me see if I can get into actual
that's the thing we've talked about the modding community for Bethesda games extensively throughout the episodes, right? Like the modders that take it seriously, like that take these games seriously, are on an entirely another level. And even in comparison to the people that originally made the goddamn games, right? Like there's certain modders that I'm like, you should have just made this game yourself, and it would have been much better.
Even like looking at this, man, it's like, dude, graphically, it doesn't even like, it just looks great.
Yeah, that's the mods for you, man. Like they go in, they change and swap out portions of code that are shitty in the Gamebryo engine or whatever you want to call it. I don't think they call it Gamebryo anymore. I think it's something else, but yeah, they take like reshades and everything like that. They upscale the textures, make sure that they're all HD rather than the shitty SD that they usually ship with and such. But
see, Scruffy, if you hadn't gotten shit-faced drunk, you could have been on this show to talk about this, because I put it on here for you.
He would have been the guy, yeah.
Like I know
he's the Fallout player for us.
Yeah, he loves them, and I know there's a lot of people. I'm excited. I mean, honestly, I'm excited here because it's again, I've watched this and like what's being shown right now. I was like,